Hey folks, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel as the case may be. I'm your host, Mara Nightingale. I decided to do a whip and chat of my Optimus Prime, Transformers Optimus Prime. I'm almost done this. As you can see, I've just got this, and then it's done. Yay! And I've been working on it slowly, alternating between this one and my True Crime Junkie. I know I've got 2 whip and chats up for that one, because every time I decide to do a whip and chat, I'm working on that one. So anyways, I decided I'm going to do one tonight of this one. It is Sunday, November 3rd. I'm waiting for packages to arrive in the mail. Yay! I should have at least one package this week, possibly 2. Looking forward to my friend in Colorado was finally able to ship her package to me. It's a big box. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to getting that. There's a custom diamond painting in there that I've been looking forward to receiving for a few months now. Yeah, for a few months now. So, let's get started. So, turn the light on for my light pad. Turn this light on. Dim it down a lot because it is pretty bright. So yeah. I recently changed the putty in all of my tips. When I was like halfway through this little section here, I'm just doing sections about this size. It's like, let's see here. They're approximately the same size. It's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So, 25 rows across by, I'm not going to count. Actually, what I'll do is I'll measure. Yeah, let's measure. Let's measure. Another excuse to pull out my little tape measure. So, yeah, each section is approximately 7 centimeters by just a touch over 9 centimeters. So it's like 2 millimeters past 9 centimeters. Cool. So yeah, they're all approximately that size. This one might be a little bit bigger than that. Whatever. It is what it is. So, let's get going. So yeah, I'm looking forward to later this week. Yeah, I've got a package from Amazon. Not Amazon. Silly. From Temu. My monthly order from Temu. That it should be here. Well, if it's here after November 5th, then I get $5 off. Well, not $5 off, but I get $5 credit. I've already done a price adjustment on it, so I got like $3 and change credit, something like that. Can't exactly tell you because it's on this particular phone. And all my online shopping is done with this particular phone. So, I believe I've mentioned in previous videos, my dad goes to the big town next door every Thursday for coffee. And if I need to go to town for one reason or another, then that's when I go, is on that on Thursday with my dad, because then I just use his truck while he's having coffee. So I went this past Thursday, and I took the paperwork for the fifth wheel, and I got it transferred over, so it is now official. The fifth wheel that I live in is now officially in my name. I now own it. Yay, I own my own home. I know it's not much of a home, but hey, it's a home. Floor, ceiling, 4 walls, a door, windows, all the good stuff. Toilet that doesn't flush, so I use the shower to flush, but yeah. One of these days I'll look into getting the water running into the toilet again properly, like it did when I first moved into this thing. But yeah, so I got, well, first I had to go to the bank and get a new bank card, because my ex, well, it was my fault, I guess you could say. When we were together, it was easy to just have my banking information on his Xbox accounts for any purchases that might need to be made for whatever reason, on all of the Xbox accounts, all of his and mine. I only had the one, but he eventually ended up with like 3, 4, something like that. But no, I only actually put my banking information into my account and 2 of his, maybe 3 of his. I can't remember now. But when just before I left there and moved to my dad's, I removed my banking information from his main account, not even thinking about other accounts. And yeah, a few weeks ago, he apparently made a purchase, an Xbox purchase. So I'm disputing it, dealing with that. So had to replace what they did was they replaced my bank card and gave me, I have a new bank card number, because the last time I got my bank card replaced, they replaced it with the same number. I can't remember why I had to get it replaced. But anyways, so yeah, I've got that. So I had to do that before I could even do anything, because of changing the bank card number. I lost access to my bank account online. So I got that straightened out. Then I went and I got I got the ownership papers done and did a little bit of shopping. Picked up a couple of groceries, and then met up with my dad. And he was already done hanging out with the boys. He was waiting outside for me. Now, where they meet for coffee every week, it's like a little cafe dining area in this store, in this big store. So there's people coming and going all the time. And so during the summer, there's actually a table outside that they sit at outside. But of course, with it being colder, they sit inside. So yeah, when I got there, he was standing outside waiting for me. And I pulled up in front of him. I rolled down the passenger side window. I'm like, "Hey, stranger, would you like a ride?" And he just laughed. Because, yeah, he wasn't really expecting it, but I am his daughter, so he should be expecting something like that, because that's the kind of thing that he would do. So, anyways, but actually, I should rewind a little bit. Before we even went anywhere, like when he came to pick me up, I opened up the passenger door to get into his truck, and there was a cloth shopping bag there, and it had an open box of chocolate candy bars, like the little ones, and he's like, yeah, decided to give you some candy for Halloween trick-or-treaters, so you don't have to buy any. It's like, oh, okay, cool. Side note, never had any kids show up, because the only kids that live around here is one, and he's too old to trick-or-treat. So, yeah, I had about half a box little mini chocolate bars to myself. But there was that, and then underneath that was 24 farm fresh eggs. Ooh, yep. And then underneath that was a brand new rice cooker. And he's like, yeah, your other birthday present finally showed up. Yay, I got a rice cooker. And I got a crock pot. Now I gotta figure out ingredients to use the crock pot. Oh, plus when I was unpacking the bag later that day, because it was cold enough that I just stuck the bag with all of that stuff, all those goodies, into the van rather than running it into the house and then running it inside and unpacking it and putting the eggs away and all that. I just put the bag into the van, because living here, I don't have to worry about anybody stealing anything, because nobody really comes over here to this area. It's semi-isolated, and it's really nice. It's really nice. I never have to worry about locking my door either. So anyways, yeah, so I left that bag in the van, hopped into the truck, and we went to the big town next door. And got all that done, and then so then my dad hopped, he got in behind the wheel of the truck, and then drove over to, there is a store called Buckerfield's. It's like a farm and garden store. He's like, yeah, I need to get some burlap and some chicken feed. I'm like, okay. So he got his burlap and chicken feed, and then we stopped over at a gas station so that he could air up the tires, because the two front tires, I noticed and pointed out to him that they were a bit low on air. And he's like, okay. So while he was doing that, I was checking my YouTube, and there was a live stream going on. It was Star from Starlight Starbright 70 and KY Philly, and it was KY Philly's. It's KY Philly. Oh my goodness! I actually wrote it down. I actually sat down last night and I wrote down the names of all of the YouTube channels that I follow. And there's a lot. Let me just say, there's a lot. Okay, so, and I did it, I set it up in alphabetical order, so, and I wrote them all down. So it's KY Philly Diamond Painting and more. Yay! So, So I hopped in on KY Philly's channel. Sherry is her name. Yep. Hi, Sherry. Where am I? J. There's a J. So I watched the live stream for a couple of minutes until my dad was done with airing up the tires, and then we drove home. And yeah, so we drove home. And when then my dad dropped me off at home, and I got all my stuff inside, put all my food away, and got back onto the live stream. They had already been live streaming for like about 4 hours. And yeah, I was only on for a few minutes, and then the live stream ended, which is okay. I do like the live streams. It's disappointing that there are times that I wanna watch the live streams, participate, whatnot, but I can't because I'm sleeping. I am still having issues with my sleep, and that's going to be an ongoing thing, because the respiratory clinic where I had gotten the sleep apnea kit to check me for sleep apnea, they had called and left a voicemail message for me to call them back, so I did. And they're like, yeah, we looked into, we're in contact with your doctor. We looked into the CPAP machine, which, if I'm remembering correctly, a CPAP machine, well, it helps you with your breathing. Obviously, it helps with your breathing while you're sleeping. Makes it easier for you to breathe, and less issues with your breathing. Oh goodness, excuse me. So because my sleep apnea is mild to moderate, apparently on the rating scale it's only a 12. Disability will only cover the cost of a CPAP machine if I'm a rating of 15 or higher. So now my doctor is wanting me to look into a sleep clinic, doing a sleep clinic, to see if through the sleep clinic they can get my rating, like more thorough, in-depth testing through the sleep clinic to see if maybe my rating can be increased to at least a 15, so then a CPAP machine would be covered. If not, then I don't know what I'm going to do. Because yeah, I definitely cannot afford a CPAP machine. I don't know what the cost is. I just know if it's not covered, yeah, there's no way I can afford it. But I do have sleeping pills. The doctor did give me sleeping pills. I also bought melatonin, which also helps with sleep, helps you to get to sleep and stay asleep. But I have not used any of those pills yet because I'm really hesitant to use them. And I really don't know why. Because the sleeping pills that the doctor gave me, they are very highly addictive, but I have never had addiction issues with these particular pills. If I did, I would have taken them all by now. Not all at once, not all at once. I don't do that. Not anymore. I don't do things like that anymore. I'm doing a lot better in those regards. My depression, I do have low days, very low days. They are pretty frequent, but it's not really days, it's more like a phase. I don't know how you would phrase it. There are days when I just don't want to get out of bed for a little while, but of course I have to, because I have to get out of bed to go to the bathroom. I have to get out of bed to feed my cat and do his water and clean the litter box and take my meds. So yeah, I just, when I'm feeling really low, it just takes me longer to get out of bed and get things done. But there are certain things that the base minimum for me to do in a day, I get those things done. If I'm having a good day, then I do more. Like today, I drained my tanks. There's the gray tank, which is the water, the used water, the dirty water from the sink and the shower. And then the black tank is from the toilet. So I had to drain those because the gray tank was full. And the last thing I need is for it to be backing up into the shower. Which, yes, unfortunately, I have done 2 or 3 times in the past. It's just procrastinating. Just, I'll do it later. And then I go into the bathroom to use the toilet, and oh, there's water in the bathtub. Okay, later has arrived. Time to go outside. Get dressed. Go outside. Drain the tank. Well, since I'm outside draining the tank, rather than just standing there and waiting for the tank to drain, I take the garbage out to the dumpster. So I did that today. I changed the garbage in the garbage can, my new garbage can that I bought. And so I changed the garbage in that. I cleaned the litter box. I took the garbage to the dumpster after I started draining the tanks. And of course, you drain the one tank, you drain the black tank, and then you leave that one open. You leave the valve open, and then you drain the gray tank. And it kind of like does a backwash thing. It flows, some of the water from the gray tank flows into the black tank. Yeah. You know, to like help rinse it a little bit. Yeah, so I had those open and draining, took the garbage over to the dumpster. I really had to toss the bag of garbage to get it into the dumpster, because it is way overflowing with garbage because of the restaurant. Again. Yeah. But I got rid of my garbage, so yay. I also had to refill the bucket for the sawdust for my litter box. Well, my cat's litter box. So I got that done as well. And yeah, it was sprinkling a little bit of rain when I went out there. But I had my cardigan on. My dad bought me this. Oh, I love it. This really nice, it's black and red checkered cardigan. It's like a wraparound sweater that, like, it doesn't tie up, but it's got pockets and it's got a hood. And I used to have a purple, yeah, I used to have a really nice purple one that didn't have a hood. I had it for years. I lost it in a move. I've lost a lot of things in moves. And I'll come across pictures of these particular items, and it's like, oh, I haven't seen that in years. Whatever happened to it? Oh, I can't believe I don't have it anymore. It's so disappointing because it was so nice. And of course, I'm referring to clothing because it is hard. With my plus size, it is difficult to find clothing in my size that is a good price and looks decent on me, I guess. One of the reasons why I love Walmart is because it's so easy to find clothing in my size there at a relatively decent price. But even then, I still struggle with being able to afford to buy the stuff. Especially now with living here and only having my income to rely on. I know I'm starting to, I guess it sounds like I'm complaining. A little bit. I'm venting. So what? I'm allowed to vent. It's my channel. I'll vent if I want to. And now I've got that song in my head. I'll cry if I want to. Cry if I want to. Cry if I want to. Only it's vent if I want to. Yeah, I'm acting I'm a little weird at the moment. I don't know. I gotta get something. I gotta eat something. I'll do that after this. I got a bunch of my dishes done. I got like 2/3 of my dishes done. And then I decided to take a break to give the hot water tank time to heat up some more water. Because it's a small tank. And yeah, I got pork chops. Yay, I got pork chops. So I'm gonna, oh my goodness, cook up the pork chops and pull out my rice cooker. Use that. Yeah. Cook up some rice. That'll be good. That'll be tasty. Yeah. Oh yeah, and something else that they ended up giving me with the rice cooker was some rice. So I don't have to wait until I buy some rice to be able to use it. But I actually do have some rice. So now I've just got more rice. Yay! So it'll be nice to be able to use the rice cooker, because then my rice won't be slightly undercooked. I'll be able to cook it properly, because cooking rice with gas, yeah, I worry about burning it. I worry about burning all my cooking. I have to pay more attention to when I'm cooking. I can't just turn it on and then come sit down and work on something for a few minutes and then go back and check on it. I've done that with bacon. I come and I sit down, like 2 minutes later I go to check on it and it's like, oh, it went from almost done to overdone in 2 minutes. Oh man. But I still eat it. I have weird taste buds. I used to be able to handle hot and spicy foods. Not so much anymore, but of course I am getting close to 50. I can't believe I'm almost 50. I just turned 48. 48. The big 48. I remember celebrating my dad's 50th birthday. He got a set of golf clubs. And, yeah, my stepmom, she rented the Knights of Pythias Hall for his birthday party. Because she was a member of the Pythian Sisters. And my oldest girl was still practically a baby at the time. Yeah. And yeah, it was a fun birthday party. My dad even went out at one point. He went outside and across the street to the parking lot across the street with my older sister, and they smoked. They smoked some devil's lettuce together. Yeah. That's actually the first time that he had smoked any of that stuff since before she was born. So, yeah, let me think here. Well, he was 29 when I was born, so he was probably like 27 when she was born. So, yeah, he... yeah. So you can imagine how long that's been since the last time he smoked this stuff. Because yeah, when my mom and dad, they used to smoke all the time with they had friends that they smoked with and all that, and they were in their early to mid 20s, and this was back in the early to mid 70s. And as soon as they found out that my mom was pregnant with my sister, they got rid of all of that stuff. They quit associating. They dropped those friends. They quit associating with anybody that smoked the stuff. They got rid of all of their smokables, all of their plants, all of that stuff. They just quit. Never looked back. Yeah. And I know there are people out there that it sounds super easy, but when it comes to actually doing something like that, it's really hard for them to do. And it's just... My dad was the same way with alcohol. He used to work in a bar. He was a bartender. This is way, way back, like, before my parents. Yeah. I think he said it was back before they got married or something. I can't remember now. But yeah, my dad, he used to, he worked in the bar, so, as a bartender, so, all the free drinks that he could ever want, right there, and he used to, it got to the point where he was drunk almost 24/7. He'd wake up in the morning with a hangover, so he'd open up a beer and get rid of the hangover. And it was to the point where his friends were starting to get worried about him being an alcoholic. And they're like, well, you should go to an AA meeting and this and that. And finally he's like, yeah, okay. So he went to an AA meeting. He stood at the back of the room and he listened to these people talking about addiction and this and that and struggles, and he's like, yeah, I don't need this. He walked out and he just well, he didn't quit drinking, but he stopped drinking so much. He never went to another AA meeting either. He didn't need to. He just, yeah, it was easy for him to quit drinking so much. And unlike other people, I know there are people out there that it's a huge struggle for them. I know because I've been to AA meetings. I tried unaliving myself once by drinking too much and almost succeeded. And when I did that, that's when I started going to AA meetings. But it wasn't the fault. It wasn't like the fault of the alcohol. It wasn't the fault of what I was drinking. It was the reason why I was drinking it. And I wanted to like drink myself to the end. But that was because of my depression. And I had stopped taking my pills for a couple of days, and then there was an incident with my boyfriend at the time that upset me so badly that a friend of mine showed up with a duffel bag full of cans of beer. And he's like, yeah, let's go have some fun. Yeah, sure, okay. So him and his girlfriend and we piled into my car. They were sitting in the back, or one of them, I think she was sitting in the back seat, and he was in the front seat, and I was driving, and we drove out to another friend's place, and we had a drink with him, and I think we also smoked some devil's lettuce with him. And then my friend, he hopped behind the wheel of the car and started driving up some bush roads. Yes, in the woods, up bush roads, like the types of roads that hunters and fishermen and loggers would go up through the trees. And yeah, in my car, I'm sitting in the back seat next to this duffel bag full of beer, and him and his girlfriend, they were in the front seat, and periodically they're like, oh, can you hand me a beer? Yeah, sure, here you go. For every one beer that the two of them shared, I drank to myself. And then at one point, he was going around a lot of the dirt roads out there are like really twisty turny, because you're like practically going up the side of a mountain. So yeah, we were going twists and turns around trees and whatnot, and he went around this one corner a little bit too fast and skidded a little bit on the dirt road and ended up in the ditch. And thankfully, it was a safe, shallow ditch on the one side of the road, on the mountain side of the road, and not on the tree side of the road, because on the other side of the road, like, if he had slid off the road that way, would have gone down the embankment, and that would have been it for all three of us, as well as the car. It would have, yeah. So, in the meantime, I'm in the back seat, and I started getting sick. And I made a huge mess in my car. Huge mess. So he couldn't get the car out of the ditch. And it's like, well, I'm like, apparently I was suffering from alcohol poisoning in the back seat of my car. And so his girlfriend, she's like, well, there's something wrong with her. I'm calling 911. He's like, oh, no, don't do that. Don't do that. And she's like, I'm calling 911. So she called 911. It took the ambulance 45 minutes just to find us. And along with the ambulance was the police. And they found me wedged in between the seats